Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another live here on YouTube. Hi, Kiana's Life. Hi, guys. Hi, Nikki. Sorry I'm running a little bit late. Today hasn't been the perfect day. Hi, Sassy. Hi, guys. Hi, Eric. Elizabeth. Wow, everyone. I'm so glad to see all of my rays of light. Love you, love you, love you. I'm just so happy that y'all are on. And I'm going to fill y'all in. I'm going to try to do about an hour and a half. So like from 6:30 Central Standard Time until 8 o'clock. I'm going to shoot for it, depending on how I feel. I have been feeling a lot better lately and more energy and just trying to play catch up with games. I'm not games. I said games. I'm not even a gamer. Kind of a little scatterbrained. Just a little, like I said, today did not go according to plan. And I have those days. One of my braces, I got braces on my bottom teeth. One of the turbos is like a little ball that goes on the molar in the back. It popped off. And so I had to go to the dentist, and my blood sugar's been good. Everything's been going good there. I'm still trying to adjust. They only put braces on the bottom, but I'm going to try to look into Invisalign, and hopefully my orthodontist will allow me to do that, because I have a big piece of wax in my mouth. So if you see it, it's wax because those brackets, they hook into your chin. It's just the way it is. So, but everything is going really great. And I will be doing some readings on here. Thank you so much. This necklace is from Zolana. It is, I don't know if y'all can see that shimmer. It's a labradorite, but it's got like blue, purple, and some yellow hues on it. I really love it. She does all wire wrapping jewelry, and I love it. You had braces for about a year, Ryan? Yeah, it's a mess. I really thought as an adult, and I'm not trying to be like a wuss or anything, I really thought I was going to be able to handle it, but I don't think I would want metal mouth, have like the metal in my mouth for 2 years, because that's the treatment plan, like for 2 years. To me, it's thank you, Ingrid. Yes, they haven't put my top because I have an underbite and a crossbite, so they haven't put the braces on my top teeth yet. Hopefully, I can switch to Invisalign. If I can't, and I'm not a candidate for it, which y'all pray for me because I want to get Invisalign, then I'm going to be just getting braces on my top, and they should be fun. The journey, of getting an adjustments, because the adjustments are painful. They're hella painful. Let me just say. Hi everyone, thank you so much. All of your prayers have helped me. I feel a lot better physically, and my health as well. I want to go ahead and do some psychic exercises with you to help you while I'm here with developing your own intuitive abilities. So someone says, if you get Invisalign, you still end up wearing a mouth guard on cue. Yeah, I know. And it doesn't matter to me. I feel like it's better than having your insides of your mouth ripped or getting canker sores, because trust me, those are very painful. Painful. Christine K, you'll be happy you got the braces. Works better than, yeah, that's what one of the girls in the office said, that she had gotten braces and it's faster and better. But I'm just kind of torn because there's somebody else that has Invisalign. I've seen so many YouTube stories. They told me, the ortho team told me, go and see all of the YouTube videos, and that's how I'm learning about all of this. Like, this is new. At 37 years old, I never imagined I would have braces to fix my teeth. But you're never too old, right? So I have something in my hand here. I want you to focus in. This is part of what I used to do when I was in a Facebook group. I would post like photos of my hand holding an object. And I want you to kind of just say what you feel. Like, type it out here in the comments, like what you pick up on. Focus on my hand. I'm going to hold my hand like this. It's not big. And try to say, what color, what consistency. Is it a metal? Is it a crystal? Is it a leaf? What do you pick on? what kind of color is coming to you. And don't overthink it. Don't over process it. Because, see, this is how you develop your spiritual abilities. And I want you to just be free and relax and kind of focus on my energy, focus on my hand. And in a minute, I will definitely be, I'm just smiling because a lot of you are spot on already. I'm not saying what it is. I'm going to tell you in a minute. But this is kind of how I used to do some training with people in a Facebook psychic group. And it just helps, you know, when people post pictures. And I may go back to doing that on Instagram. I used to do that on Instagram too, and on my Facebook page, helping people kind of develop. I'm smiling because I'm reading the comments. Y'all are so dang good. So dang good. It's more psychic than you probably ever thought when you find out what it is. All right. So some people have commented, pick up on the energy. Is it a metal? Is it porous? Is it a cloth, a piece of cloth? Tell me what you're feeling. And just go with what you're feeling. There's no right or wrong. Like I said, you would be surprised how intuitive people are, but they kind of second guess themselves. I'm smiling. Okay, are y'all ready for me to unveil it? Are you ready? Mandy Green, it is not crystal meth. No, ma'am. I do not do drugs. Hold on one second, guys. I'm just reading through the comments. I didn't get to see all of them. Can't believe somebody would think that I would have crystal meth. That's crazy. Okay. That person's been removed. Okay, here it is, guys. You ready? Here we go. Drum rolls. Ta-da! See how intuitive you were? Okay, so this is a piece of quartz, clear quartz crystal. It is a black tourmaline crystal. It is metal, like y'all said. It does have a blue moonstone. So those of you that said moonstone, you're absolutely correct. And on the top, I believe it's a piece of labradorite as well. So y'all are right. See? You see how good y'all are? Yeah, Brianne, right? You were kind of right. All of you were kind of right. And that wasn't in any means meant to like trick people or make people think that, you know, that they don't have psychic abilities. If you didn't get anything right, don't be so hard on yourself. I like doing these activities because it kind of helps you develop your own intuition and realize that we're not that far from being intuitive. You know, it's just a matter of trusting in the moment that you're tuning in. You have to clear your mind, focus on the object or whatever you're doing. You're looking at, like a photograph, or if you're watching TV at that person, and focus on their energy and what comes to you. And yes, Zinnia White, you said black crystal. You're absolutely correct. So you see, y'all are pretty dang intuitive, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So those of you that got blue or got metal, you got something. You got something, and that is intuitive. And I know a lot of people would probably say, well, you're probably guessing, that a lot of you are guessing, and it's not that. Oftentimes people try to confuse, or they may confuse it for guessing, but it's not guessing. What we consider guessing is actually our intuitive abilities that we're utilizing without even knowing it. So that's the first one. I'll be doing, when I do more of my lives, I'll be doing more of these because I think it's so good for you. Um, Jim, you said, Jen Vance said, I said pink crystal, but you said crystal. So it doesn't matter. You got the color wrong, hun. You got crystal. And there were crystals in my hand. So that's what I'm saying. Don't beat up yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself if you got the, you didn't get it exactly to a T, because no one gets it to a T. That's the point I'm trying to make here with these intuitive exercises, is that we're not always going to get the image or at first, everything correct. Now, there were some people that did say black crystal, but some of them didn't say white. There was a white crystal too, but they knew that it was a crystal. So those that got them, Lorraine, you asked, where did I get them? I got them on Etsy. Etsy is like my paradise. Like if I had a $5,000 gift card, that's where I probably would be spending all of my money on candles, crystals. I can't get enough of it. So anybody who wants to send me a gift card, Etsy is the way. Etsy is the way to my heart. Just kidding. But yeah, Etsy is the bomb. It sure is. Chris Bath, thank you so much. I'm so happy for you to be here. So then I had a live earlier today with my friend Tyson. He was a scheduled guest on Instagram, and it was a nightmare, and it wasn't his fault. He's a sweetheart, and he is really a great person. He was in a place, I guess, or having phone issues with his reception, and so we couldn't do it. So we're going to reschedule that for those of you that tuned in earlier today. I'm going to get with him later tonight. We're going to reschedule that episode and do it again. What I did earlier was I just went ahead and I did a meet and greet basically with about 3 people. So I kind of, you have to kind of seize the moment. When something doesn't work out, the initial reaction is to be like bummed or kind of be like, I'm so, this didn't work out. We get disappointed and we start letting ego take over and all these negative or low vibrations and blaming the other person or the other thing. And that's what we have to change. We have to change. Baby's girl 33. When is your birthday? It is May 26, 1982. Beautiful butterfly. Are you going to do readings? I am, but if you want to tune off of this, you can, because I'm not doing them right now. I'm going to spend the first 30 minutes talking. So if you get bored, you know where the exit is, and you can come back in 30 minutes. I'm not rushing through because there's a lot of important things that I want to do, and I'm changing up these lives with you guys so that way we can talk about a lot of different things. So yeah, that's how I'm just keeping it real, guys. I'm not about the bullshit. So I know that some people get pissed because they don't want to hear me talk. They want a reading, and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to rush myself or my energy. I'm having fun chatting with you all, and that's how it's going to be. And some people could say that I am really in ego, and I really don't care because I'm just going to keep doing it the way that I want. And somebody says, how did you develop your further abilities? Well, I was always a psychic child, and I had these abilities since a child and tuning into spirits. It was until I had my near-death experience and crippling panic attacks, let me tell you, that everything changed. And that's when I had my near-death experience. Was a traumatic event in my life. And I'm being honest. It terrified me for the first 6 months after it. I was never the same after it. And I'm still not the same. I feel like an old part of me died. Essentially, that's what happens. A piece of our soul dies, and we are reborn in the current flesh that we're in when we have a near-death experience. And that changed me completely. For those of you that don't know, I did have a heart attack when I was 31, and it wasn't due to drugs or anything like that. I believe it was really due to stress. The last job that I had before I quit, I had to quit because I was getting sick literally in the job. It was so stressful. There was no organization. These people didn't have computers that had everything documented. It was a sales position and also a scheduling position. And if we scheduled things and things were not right, then we got the the blame for it as schedulers and not the installers who, use GPS and whatnot. So it was very stressful. And this is what I say. I knew that I should have walked away from that job much, much sooner. Plus, I'm not going to lie, I am overweight. I've always been. So I'm pretty sure that there were some health issues as well contributing, like cholesterol and things like that. And maybe I had diabetes at that time. This was many years ago, but I didn't know. I didn't think to check it. And I never was the person to go to a doctor when I was in my early 30s, but it happened. You feel like you have an old soul. Yeah, I really do have an old soul. I was one of those kids growing up that was very much a loner. And I had my cousins, but I really didn't want to play with them, or I stayed to myself. And I was very connected to nature and playing outside with the leaves and sand and connecting on the ground. A very free spirit, and also artistic. I always had this drive to kind of express how I was feeling through art and drawing and doodling, even though it wasn't the best, and going and then into high school and junior high, it was much like a loner. I was very much a loner. I didn't hang out with any cliques or crowds. I kept to myself, and I did my own thing. And I only had one friend, I think, that I can really call. Her name was Lisa, and she was my junior high and high school friend throughout there. But it was difficult because people would bully me, and I guess it was because they wouldn't understand how different I was, or they wanted me to be in their clique or be a part of them, and I wasn't a part of that. And I can remember, like, the worst experience that I had was in middle school. It was around 7th grade, and I went to the cafeteria. I got my tray of food, and then I was going to go sit down. I said to myself at that time, I'm going to go and sit with the popular kids because I wanted to fit in. I was tired of being a loner at that point, and I wanted to fit in. So got my tray and went down to the bench and sat not necessarily close to the people, but kind of close to these kids that were popular. And I went there, and when I did, they all got up with their trays and they laughed. They looked at me, laughed, and they walked to another bench and they sat there. And I was left there feeling so miserable. It was like the most humiliating experience for me. But it really, all of these things that have happened to me, who I am today, have made me a stronger version of myself. I'm not saying that I have it all together, that I'm the picture perfect, or that I'm a guru, because I'm not. And I am flawed in every kind of way, and I'm still a piece of work. I'm still working on myself every day. Just like I'm helping people, I'm also working on myself. Never, and I promised myself never to be that kind of person. I never wanted to be that person that made fun of people or made people feel like they're no good because they're not like me, or they don't dress the same as me, or they don't, I was made fun of because I grew up poor. And I didn't have like the Jinko jeans. That was in the 1995, 96, 94, between 1994 and 96. Do y'all remember the Jinko jeans and the Jordans? I didn't have that. Mine were corduroy pants. Believe it or not, I wore corduroy pants. And that was the only thing that my mom could afford. And they were new, and I was very proud of them, and they're comfy. And who knew that years later now, corduroy is like in. So, music was my outlet, Lorraine. Absolutely. Like when I got into the late teens, it was definitely my outlet, and I felt so much better, and like it helped me. Many songs, like I'm a big fan of Mariah Carey. Her songs like have gotten me through a lot of things. Paula Abdul, U2, Mary J. Blige, and the list goes on and on. Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. All these types of songs and lyrics really got me through. Ever been in love? Definitely, but that's a whole nother episode, whole nother thing. So yes, I'm a lamb. I'm part of the Lamely. For those of you that are Mariah Carey fans, y'all probably would know. but yeah, I love so many of the new artists that I'm seeing today. I love the 80s. I love the 70s, believe it or not. I loved Blondie, and I love Fleetwood Mac, um, Destiny's Child as I grew older, Britney Spears, all those, In Sync, Backstreet Boys, Milli Vanilli, uh, Shawnee's. Yeah, hi, Shawnee's. And then there was also the Spice Girls. Yes, the Spice Girls were the biggest one. I really, really enjoyed them. Yeah, and I'm sad to know that they actually separated. I'm on my phone. I want to get to some points here that I had taken. So give me 1 second here. Oh, I found it. I get excited when I find it. I'm going to talk about fake masculinity, okay? I'm just looking at the comments here. Do you believe in soul contracts? I absolutely do. Oh, and I love you too. Soul contracts, I definitely believe that we, before we're born and we come to earth, that we actually do set up, our soul contracts. And we choose who we're going to have as our parents, who's going to be our spirit guides, exit points that we're going to have on our physical journey here in the physical world. Exit points meaning like when we could possibly die and pass on, which of course we never really die. We are just transitioning back into spirit. So yes, I do believe, and I do believe that a lot of us reincarnate. God, some of the people that are coming on here have to be like really crazy. I'm just reading through some of these comments like, dude. I'm just reading through the comments really quick. I was in a car accident. Amanda Francis. I was in a car accident when I was 2 months pregnant before I knew I was pregnant. That was 6 months after my mom passed. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry to hear that. Do you think she had anything to do with that? I believe that there are many souls that have crossed over, and they are holding souls of children that haven't been born. Definitely. Tracy, thank you, sweetheart, for your donation of $50. You're just so amazing, and for supporting my channel. I really, really appreciate it. Your voice is breaking up. Well, I'm kind of being silent. Okay, so I wanted to talk about several things here. Fake masculinity, okay? Now, a lot of men are in denial about having toxic masculinity or fake masculinity. So I came across this Instagram post, and this person has a lot of good things. So how they break it down was into four parts, okay? The first part is emotionally weak. And this all falls under the category of fake masculinity. An emotionally weak person, this person chooses to repress their emotions because they view it as a sign of weakness. They fear their heart, so they hide out in their logical mind. They are disconnected from the vibration of love and feminine energy. So this is like someone that is a male that is very macho, that wants to put on a farce or a front, and they are not really connected. They can't emotionally, because I'm not going to say who, but one of my friends was with someone, and this person was not reciprocating or showing them any kind of emotion, even when it was intimacy. And so I know that's a little TMI, so I apologize on that for those of you that are kind of sensitive. But this is something that that person couldn't say, I love you, or they couldn't communicate. Like it was 1, 2 words. It wasn't even a sentences that they would complete. That's how they would respond to my friend. And so that is like an emotionally weak, that falls under fake masculinity. I was married to him once, Kathy. Yeah, and then the other one is external power under fake masculinity, and these types of men want to validates themselves through money, power, and sex. They seek to dominate others through intimidation and manipulation. And these are the people, these are the guys that have the fancy cars and the shoes, and they're posing on Instagram, and they got a good body and they're showing it off, and it's all materialistic, it's all shallow, it's all about ego. It's them wanting to be in control of everything in every situation, and if they don't have that control over you, then they start cussing you out, treating you like, and demeaning you, and making you kind of using reverse psychology on you, making you think that you're less than what you are worth. And so you have to be careful. I think a lot of you out there that have been in relationships like this, or are in relationships like this, may not realize the different types of categories that they fall into. The other one is sex energy. And this is a male that has little to no control over their sexual desires. They are a slave to their sexual impulses. They seek only physical attraction over the depth of the soul connection. And these are the men that have 5 baby mamas. They have no problem cheating and covering up one lie after another. And these are the type of guys, that you definitely need to avoid and see the patterns. A lot of you that are in toxic relationships, and a lot of this has been repeating over and over and over. These are karmic lessons that you have to master here in the physical world. And the reason that you haven't mastered them is because you keep attracting, or you keep gravitating towards the same person, or that same type of male. So you have to kind of move on from that, and you can't be in the same. And a lot of y'all say, well, I don't know that person. I don't know that there are how was I supposed to know that there were going to be like that? But you have to use your intuition. A lot of you kind of downplay it, and you're like, well, I didn't know that he was this way. You're making excuses. You knew darn well that that person had 5 exes, and they talked about it, and you knew that they were kind of covering up some things. So like, why are you neglecting that? Why are you not really paying attention to that? And these are the things that I help people when I do psychic readings, to help them identify a lot of these things. It's not all about future, what's going to happen. It's identifying what is broken. How can it be fixed? That's what I offer when I do psychic readings. And the other thing is, you have the guys that are fake masculinity, that fall under feminine energy. They try to fix or control the feminine energy instead of being supportive and a safe place. Doesn't realize that the imbalance lies within themselves. They struggle to get out of their mind and into their heart. So they're always kind of like, if they're in a relationship with a female, they're trying to correct that female. They're trying to make them dress a certain way. They don't want them to show any kind of emotion to other guys. It's all about controlling. Yeah, look at me. Yeah, that's kind of like how it is. And so, let me see. Somebody said you hit it on. Yeah, when I saw all of this, these are things that I actually see every day. I feel like so many people are settling more for those toxic relationships because it's more acceptable to be the down ass chick. Girl, you ain't lying. And I'm telling you, not from experience in this, but from the point that I've seen it time and time again with a lot of friends, clients, and it's like people are in this phase that you got a hot body and you look, a beautiful face, and it's attractive, and that's what they're basing their energy on. A lot of people are also, a lot of men and women, because this is not just applying to men. I'm not going to just talk about men. I'm going to get to the women in a minute. Trust me, it's game on all tonight. So some men, will try to deflect their emotions and throw it on the women and say that it was the women's fault. It was the ex fault. My ex was crazy, blah, blah, blah. And it's not even that. It's just lies. It's lies, and it's, manipulation at its finest. And you see it all the time, all the time. All right, so let me get into the toxic, the fake feminine. Because I saw it somewhere here. Maybe I didn't. Let me see. Where is it? Okay. Then we have mother wounds. These are going to be weak boundaries. These are people who you have the inability to say no and honor your space. This wound was developed from seeing your mother people please and always put herself last. You struggle to speak your truth and tend to be a people pleaser. And this is something that a lot of people have done and really not even paying attention to it. This comes from mother wounds. All these little trolls on here. Does somebody want to be my moderator on here? Ryan, I'm going to make you a moderator so that you can remove trolls if you want. But let me know. You would right click on them. Just look at the comments. If they are vile comments or inappropriate comments, all you do on the right hand side, you'll see 3 little dots. You click on them and then you can remove them from my channel. Remove them or hide user on this channel, or you can put them in timeout or just remove their comment. I really would appreciate it. I trust Ryan. Ryan is so amazing on every horoscope that I post every week. He tends to do the timestamps of when there are. So I really appreciate you, Ryan, and your support. And Nicole, I'm going to make you a moderator too. Nicole Sorkin. I love her. She's an absolute sweetheart. So I have some moderators now. Thank you so much. Okay, and then I was talking about mother wounds, people that have issues stemming from their mom. Guilt. You find yourself saying, I feel bad, or constantly saying, I'm sorry. If something good happens in your life, you feel a sense of guilt because you feel like you don't deserve it. And it's crazy because a lot of these situations have been topics that have come up from your mother, and you may not even realize it. Then you have codependency. You often find yourself in codependent relationships. You fear being alone, so you attach yourself to people to fill your void. You wait for permission from others to do what your heart and intuition is calling you to do. And this is just people who, men or women, who have issues that are coming from a wounded mother wounds, who basically are just so codependent on, they need people to help them feel happy. So let's say you're communicating with someone on a romantic level, or you're just friends, and that person sends you a text message, and it's like the best thing that happened to you when you get that text message. But if they don't text you back, they're cheating on me, or they're ignoring me, or they're ghosting me, and you're thinking all hundreds of kinds of things in scenarios in your brain. And so this is what I'm talking about, mother wounds, and dealing with codependency issues. I'm trying to get someone on an Instagram live, and she's a codependent coach, and she's from the UK, and she helps people that have codependency. And it's nothing to be ashamed about. I think a lot of us are codependent at some time or at some point. in our life. And so we really don't realize that. And then the last one is self-worth. These are the people that say, I just don't feel worthy. Is this, and those are the words of the wound. Wound. It says, you constantly compare yourself to others and feel jealous because of it. You struggle with a sense of knowing who you are beyond who you have been told to be. So these are the people who have had social conditioning from their mother or from family members that they wouldn't amount to anything, that they're not really doing anything with their life, and they've always had to be told what to do, not really independent. And it's almost like a crippling type of thing. Cox and Dick's Law Firm, LLC, I love you too. Thank you so much for being here. And so, yeah, you know, these are the things and patterns that we have to work on ourselves. I think everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people tend to neglect that, and they kind of always accuse their ex or accuse another person of having the issues. But we have issues. We need to look at ourselves. It all begins with us, what we allow, what we are all about, you know, how we react to situations. I think it's so easy in the moment to kind of lose your cool and just definitely just turn, you know, into anxiety, to smoking a cigarette if you smoke because you're nervous, or drinking alcohol because that numbs the pain, or what I would do, food, turning to food, to sweets, to sugar. And what one of my friends, Jen, told me, and I really didn't realize it, was that I was turning to sweets in a lot because a lot of the things that I was going through in my life, it was like lacking sweetness. And so I would turn to sweets, and it's so darn accurate. That's exactly what I would do. Because like food is not really my thing. I love food, and yes, I turn to it, but it was mainly sugar, like sugar. Now that I've cut sugar off completely, I've lost about 17 pounds. I don't know if y'all can see it because the camera does add weight, but I'm going to be taking some pics soon of my body so y'all can see it. But I'm very proud of myself, and I'm continuing to do it. This is going to be a lifestyle change completely. I'm never going back to what I used to. And sugar, like I said, sugar is the devil. It's really, really bad. It's like more addicting than cocaine and heroin. I think a lot of people really don't realize that. And I'm going to be posting some things about that because, yeah, sugar is really bad. Really, really, really bad. It causes inflammation, bloating, gas, so much. I'm not even kidding. Aches and pains. Also me, yeah. How long did the headaches last? Quite a while. And like I said, it's a journey. I'm still working on myself. I'm drinking maple syrup right now. Christine says, that's funny because I was watching my friend Rachel True. For those of you that don't know, she was Bonnie, I believe, the girl that played Bonnie on The Craft, the movie. I was watching one of her lives. I simply adore her. And she was talking about how she cuts out sugar too, and she uses maple syrup for a lot of things. I don't like using maple either because I feel like most of the maple that you find out there has sugar. It's like artificially flavored. It's not good for you. So, yeah, it's just bad. Yeah, The Craft is my favorite movie. It's a staple in my life. It's like iconic. All right, guys. So I'm gonna be doing, yeah. And if y'all haven't checked out Rachel True's channel, you definitely should, because when she does lives, she keeps it real, and I really love it. It's entertaining, and she's just so down to earth. I believe she has some tarot cards and a tarot book that she's going to be releasing. So I'm going to get into the readings now. I have here the Empathic Oracle. I'm going to be using these tonight and pulling some cards. So those of you that want a reading, please go ahead and ask, and I definitely will be doing that. So we still have about 40 minutes. I'm going to try to go until 8 o'clock. Let me see here. SR, me, please. Of course, sweetie. Let me pull 2 or 3. And Ryan and Nicole, thank you so much for taking care of all the trolls. And there was plenty, trust me, on here. So SR, I'm pulling 2 cards. Okay, I also didn't say this. I needed to tell y'all that all of my readings, I have decided to help you guys out. All of my email and chat psychic readings are on sale. Typically, my readings are $120, but I've lowered it to $80, which is what I was charging maybe about a year ago. So I'm going to be running this all through the month of, from now and through all the month of September to help you guys. I know a lot of you are at this point where it's like the end of the year. We're getting closer to the end of the year. You may want a psychic reading, etc. So if you are wanting to book a reading, you can go to my website. Again, it's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. And I'm also going to be doing a giveaway once I hit 26K subscribers. We're almost there. We're almost there. So SR, I got 2 cards for you. The first one is light at the end of the tunnel. So whatever you're going through, I feel like you have been going through a huge cycle and a huge phase where you feel like there's a lot of negativity in your life, quite possibly testing you. You don't feel good all the time. I feel like you have anxiety as well and you worry about things. Things are changing for you. The other thing that I have here is direction. It's like you are needing guidance. And again, it's the circle. The circle is completion. So I feel like things are changing for you, SR. And you said, oh my God, yes. So yeah, things are changing for you. Purple is spirit. That's the color of purple. And it's all on this card. So I feel like you're getting to the point now more spiritually drawn to these kind of episodes, to your own psychic abilities, to spirit. And I feel like, I want to say by winter, things start picking up for you. Like the month of December, going into January, February, like these are going to be the power months for you. I feel like there's some money coming to you, and there's some deep changes that you'll be doing. I don't know if you're going to be cutting your hair or, also looking into getting another vehicle, but these are the things that I'm picking up on. There's a lot of different things that are coming for you. Okay, so it's very positive. There's also a trip that, SR, there's a trip for you. And this is going to be either to another city or a state, but it's coming, okay? And I feel like this is to detox. Spirit is saying to detox how you currently feel. Because I feel like you are surrounded by some people that are so negative. Or that you have already thought, maybe they're like backstabbers, like they are ha 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 in front of your face and all smiles, but behind you they got that steak knife, ready to talk shit basically behind your back. So that's what I'm picking up, and I want to thank you so much. And I'm just going to go through here. Guys, if you donate, it doesn't guarantee a reading. It just is to support the channel. So I want to be very clear. But thank you for who donated. Thank you, Erica Harris. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Talia. Okay, green, me please. Green, me please. It's what it says. So green, let me pull 2 cards for you. Green, you got future. That's a very powerful sigil, or kind of like a rune. And it's white, and it's got like an X, X's. That's how I kind of see it. You're very focused about the future, obviously. But I also feel like you can see the future. I don't know if you have, I'm picking up that you have a lot of ancestors around you. You have clairvoyance. You have the gift. You are a seer. So you can see pretty much things like other people can't see. But I feel like there's a disconnection. There's drama. There's something about your heart, love space, the heart, love life, something with a love and like a void when it comes to your love. And that is what I'm picking up. And then I get stardust. It's like you have made wishes to the universe. You have prayed and you've been trying to manifest to get out of this situation that you're in and to where you want. And so it's going to come. This is like, to me, this is like a wish card to me. When I see stardust, it reminds me of our roots also. Like, I feel like you also are a star being. You have star roots. You have, either you're Lemurian or Pleiadian. I want to say you're more Pleiadian than Lemurian. And there's also Syrian and Arcturian. I don't know if I said that right. Arcturian. I can't pronunciate things. But yeah, you do have connections to that. But things are definitely looking better for you in the future. I think this is just a reminder for you to claim your power and not give it away. And thank you so much. Niata Boo. Let's see what Niata Boo gets. Neatta, Niata. And if I butchered your name, I really am sorry. Because I'm really bad at pronunciating. And now that I got braces, even worse. I feel like I have a lisp or something. So Niata Boo, I got here for you, oddly enough, direction. Again, I feel like you are going through a cycle. There are some changes. Things are going to be happening for you, but you can't rush it. Spiritually, you're more awakened, and I feel like you're looking for direction as well. I feel like you feel kind of lost, and I see that there is something going on with your finances, some struggles. This is going to definitely be improving, but I feel like I don't know about your job, if you have questions about your job, but I get for Niata Boo, I get something about money and again, a job and kind of like transitioning into something else. And then strength. Again, you're being tested by people. It's a reminder to, as above, so below, to reconnect to Mother Nature, to also be strong, because I feel like you're going to be going through some intense tests by people, family, even maybe in your love life, in your emotions. It's going to be a very emotional next 6 months for you, but you're going to get through it. But you have to stay strong. You can't lose your peace, and you can't lose who you are. You need to remember who you are. And so that's for Niata Boo. And thank you so much. Okay, let me see here. Yinny Yin, Ray, I'm being psychically attacked, been sleeping with lights on. I definitely would recommend for you to sage your home, use Palo Santo, sprinkle sea salt or Himalayan salt all around the door, the front entrances of your door. You may want to look into some candle magic and get an uncrossing candle and a reversing candle. The reversal candle is definitely going to be like black and red. Sometimes it's all black, but you can order these fixed candles out of a Botanica, which is like a spiritual store, or you can look at a spiritual store if you have one near. If not, you can order it off of Amazon or other websites as well. But just get those 2 candles and kind of burn them. And don't be afraid. I know that a lot of you out there that would be listening to this are saying, I'm afraid because she said she's been sleeping with lights on, but you can't be afraid of the negative energy. That only feeds it, and you're more powerful than what you think. Let's see here. Let me see here. Let me see. Jessica Richardson. Can you pull a card for me? I sure can. It's for Jessica Richardson. Also, my Oracle cards, if you haven't pre-ordered, you can order on my website. They are going to be released worldwide on September 9th. 999. Mr. Jessica Richardson. I'm going to pull a card for you. I got the root chakra. Again, I feel like you're going through some growth, planting seeds, maybe for your career, your finances, and just what you want to do, your journey, your own personal spiritual growth. And I think that you've also questioned what is the reason of your soul existence here on earth. That's what I keep hearing from spirit, that you are may want to know. And to me, it's like forming your own family. It's like being close knit with your family, your own, children, creating moments and memories, because they're so fleeting. And I think like you fear not having, these moments where you can, just be close with family. And there's something about you being afraid of being alone in life. Again, this kind of pulls more to a codependent behavior, and you may or may not agree with it, but that's what I'm getting from a spiritual standpoint. Let me pull another card for you. And that's something to work with, knowing that you're kind of a spiritual badass and you don't have to, really rely on anyone to fulfill that happiness that you need, And again, Earth, wow. Just reminding you that you need to probably reconnect to Mother Earth, spend some time outside. Again, just realizing who you are. I feel like you kind of lost touch, perhaps, and Spirit is reminding you that you need to go back to things that used to bring you happiness. Because like I said, I feel like things have changed for you completely. And it's not, I'm not judging you or anything. Like, it is a cycle. It is a process. Helene, the poet. I'm going to pull some cards for Helene, the poet. Let's see what comes out for Helene. Okay. Helene, I got here the solar plexus chakra that you would need to work on. Your emotions, what you feel like. I feel like this also is about your love life completely. Feeling like, inadequate in some ways, or that you are the problem, that you haven't been able to attract someone to you. And Spirit is reminding you that you need to work on self-love, that it's not you. And then crowd surfing. I think, wow, this is a very powerful card. I've never seen this one before. I've never pulled it out before. Can you see all the faces there? They're like shadows, or like spirits, and then the woman stands out of all those. And so, Helene, I think like what Spirit is saying for you is that you may be looking at others for happiness again, or comparing yourself to others, but you are unique, and I don't feel like you fully grasp or see yourself in that light as being special. And so with this card, like, it's saying that, the light kind of shines upon you. There's other people that maybe want to be like you, that maybe they don't like how you are happy, a lot of times, or how the decisions you make, and they want to, they project a lot of their issues and their anger onto you, whether it's like dissing you, or, just saying something, or kind of trying to tear you down, or taking you for granted, or not appreciating you enough. But Spirit is reminding you that you are a child of light, and that you are definitely making moves for yourself, okay? So I want to thank you so much for that. Thank you, Yin Yang, for your donation, and all of you that have donated. Thank you so much. Re and Me says, may I have some insight on my purpose and marriage? I love my wife very, very much. That's for Re and Me. Let me just see what comes up, okay? So you guys can see how I shuffle. I'm not the best shuffler in the world. Some people don't like to shuffle like this. They want to shuffle from the corners and do it almost like in a diamond shape. To me, it's like there's not a specific way, You can do it any way that you can. So for Ree and me, I got here adversity. There's something coming up, whether this is in your marriage or in your family. But I do feel like there's some challenges that are coming up. The adversity card is like a reminder for you that even though you are going through some adversity, if you notice the sun is here, there is protection from an angelic source, from God, and really and truly putting more faith in light is born. Okay, so we have to go through the darker periods and the adversity to help us grow and become stronger versions of ourselves. It's like the dark night of the soul. So hold on to that message if it doesn't make sense now to you. But I see adversity, and I see like there are going to be issues coming up in your family in that area where your love life is concerned. The next card I got is containers. So with containers, like I've never pulled this card before, but intuitively, like what I see is like, it's like almost like putting yourself in a box. The way that you process information, the way that you do things, it's like you're putting yourself in certain categories, maybe labeling yourself, okay? And so no matter, you're not just a husband, you're not just, someone that is a brother or an uncle. You are more than that. And I feel like you kind of limit yourself by putting yourself like in containers and kind of picking or choosing what container you would fall in depending on the circumstances. So I hope that kind of helps you. And that's for Ray and me, I believe. Okay, let's see here. I'm looking here. Marilyn Bill asks, when should I retire? That's where free will comes into play. I don't feel like it's time for you to retire now. And even if you would, I feel like you're going to constantly be working at some kind of part-time job just to have some income. Like if it is in my life path to live until my 70s and I retire from being a psychic medium, I can't picture myself not doing anything. I'd have to do something. Maybe that's just the Gemini in me. Kimber Frizzle, can you talk about my family that passed away, please? That would be a mediumship reading. I'm doing more psychic readings right now, but definitely can do that at a later time. If you want to set up a private reading with me, we can do that. There's a lot of energy here, so I don't really typically do a lot of mediumship readings here. Kamisha Singer, can you pull a card for me, please? Absolutely. This is for Kamisha Singer. I like your name. I hope I said it right. I'm so bad at pronunciating names. Okay, Spirit. Let's see what Spirit has to say about Kamisha. So I have about 30 minutes still. Okay, I'm going to pull some for Kamisha. Okay, Kamisha, I got these cards. Balance. I feel like you're seeking balance, needing more balance in your life. Things maybe seem a little disheveled or not organized. And it's all about balancing. I don't think you meditate, or at least Spirit is saying that you don't meditate enough. Try meditating, because that's going to help you a lot, okay? The other thing that I get is shielding. I feel like you kind of put on a shield so that people don't see your vulnerability, and maybe you're suffering or going through some things in your love life, in your emotional space. And typically when I see this card shielding, I feel like you're shielding, kind of deflecting the actual situation instead of addressing it. And maybe kind of like I hate to say this, but maybe not taking accountability for, your part in it as well. in changing certain things about yourself. It's like you want the universe to kind of bring these blessings and bestow you upon you with those blessings, but Spirit is saying that you're not necessarily doing the work yourself. Okay, what that means is that you may not be fully pushing yourself past your comfort zone. If it's, a relationship that you want, you can't just wait, for that person to show up. You gotta, show out. You gotta step out. You gotta, make eye contact, smile. If it's finances you want better, and you're at a job, but you're there because you feel safe, you got to step out of that, And even though you may not feel safe when you get hired somewhere else or you look for a job, you have to still push yourself, because that's where you're going to see growth, and that's what Spirit is saying for you, Kamisha. So I hope that helps you. Okay, Nicole and Ryan, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you so much. Okay, I have here Kana. Let me see her. Kana Walls says, could you pull a card for me, please? Where I having a lot of heart issues with my 81-year-old father. Can you help me with a reading? Absolutely. Let me pull some cards here and see what Spirit says. That's for Kana Walls. And I'm so sorry. I'm sending healing energy to you and your family. Immediately what I'm getting, before I pull the card, show you the cards that I pulled, I'm getting that you are creating this, you've created a burden on yourself by worrying so much. I feel like even though you do love your father, and you love your family, I feel like you are carrying the burden that you're not meant to. And so part of this is this next couple of months is like kind of finding yourself again, because I feel like you've gotten lost and become like a caretaker in many ways. The card that I pulled for you is an open heart. So I feel like you need to open your heart more. And again, I feel like you're going to be going through all the emotions. You see this card, it's divided like into seasons. It has the aura all around it, but it's reminding you to do and operate out of the heart space, out of love, loving yourself more, putting yourself more out, healing whatever. And it's crazy because you asked about the heart as well. So I feel like there are some storms on the horizon when it comes to this, okay, regarding health and stuff. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing, but that's what I'm getting. But again, you see blossoming, and it's like a new cycle. So there is definitely like a regrowth, a reincarnation on the horizon for someone. Now, I'm not saying this is your father, but there's definitely a cycle here. And I would like for you to like message me or email me, Kana Walls, about this. I can't talk about everything on here, okay? But I definitely want to tell you a little bit more. And then I got non-duality, which is just a lot of like, to me, this represents light and dark, like working with the shadow self, like understanding that there is a median, there is a middle ground. And so that's what I'm kind of feeling. Green is for healing. So there's healing coming in, but I feel like you're kind of mad at the universe because things haven't happened the way that you expected them to, or you're mad at God source or God in some kind of way, maybe subconsciously. Is this more subconsciously? But I feel like, there is healing, and there is Archangel Raphael that you need to pray to. That's for Kana Walls. So things are definitely going to be a little rocky between now and the end of the year, but there's a new cycle, a new birth, and a new beginning starting 2020. Okay? So I hope that helps you. Elizabeth Guy, thank you so much for your comment, sweetheart. said, hi, Ray, you're such a beautiful person. May God bless you. Let me see here. I'm just going through the comments. Excuse me. Oh my God. Okay, TD84 says, I had a dream about a mountain of lions, and I heard chanting. Can you please tell me what it meant? I cannot shake it. Lions are the symbol of Leo, the sign of Leo. Lions represent the heart. It represents loyalty. And what I'm getting is like, if it's a group of them, there's a group of people that I feel like you feel like maybe are not loyal necessarily. And this is what this dream is kind of conveying with the lions. The chanting that you heard. Chanting is like, what I'm getting is that, chanting was typically done by like Native Americans. It was done in rituals and tribes and African tribes as well. The fact that you heard chanting, there could be a lot of spirits of your ancestors who definitely are protecting you from the other side. But I don't feel like you're haunted or anything like that. Okay. And that's what I get. That's her TD84. So I'm not going to pull cards because that was something that I can give you from my intuitive space, from what I'm hearing from Spirit. Okay, Tiffany Jean says, may I have a general reading? So let me pull 2 cards for her. That's Tiffany Jean. All right, let's see here. Tiffany Jean, let's see. Okay, Tiffany, what I got for you, I got resistance. So there's something that, and again, it's the heart. Maybe you are resisting on opening your heart and trusting certain people for love or to invite love in. There's something that you're resisting, okay? And I feel like you definitely are going through something very deep. This is going to be a very rough period for you over the next couple of weeks. This is for Tiffany Jean, if she's listening still. I also got here beginnings, and it's like, I don't know, it looks like kind of like what is that, a goose or something? But I feel like it's new beginnings for you. Like I said, I feel like you really are coming up, coming out of the space, but you are kind of stuck right now, stalled. Things are very stalled for you, but you are coming out of it, Tiffany Jean. Contemplating school. I don't know if you want to go back to school or you're studying something. I keep hearing school and I keep seeing work and like career. So there is some changes also in your career space. I don't feel like you necessarily are happy. But again, there is something about getting some kind of going back and reassessing your career path. There's going to be changes in there as well. Okay. So I hope that helps you, Tiffany Jean. I am so sorry. I don't know why I'm yawning. Johnny Bravo says, "Great, if you can." When I hear bats and people think of bats, they automatically associate them with evil or think that it's something bad. I honestly think that was an omen. It's like, my connection is unstable. I hope you guys can still hear me. But as I was telling Johnny Bravo, is that when we think of bats, people think automatically that they're evil and that, that they represent something dark. But in reality, bats cannot see in light. They see in darkness, if I'm not mistaken, And so it's almost like for you, I think it's like spirit, that messenger is trying to tell you that there's some things that you don't understand right now in your life. Maybe around your relationships, things that happen in your family with your father. And that even though you can't see the bigger picture in the light during the daytime, or you can't see it in your life right now, you feel kind of blinded by everything, that you actually will have that sight, that you are going to see it. And I feel like you're going through shadow work, because again, bats are typically dark in color in nature, and it's associated with nighttime when they come out. I'm not saying they don't come out during the day, but typically they're associated with night, being nocturnal. So again, I feel like it's working through the darker things that have happened to you in your life. I'm not going to say what, but I kind of already know from what Spirit is telling me. You have had some darker thoughts and darker periods in your life, and you're coming across from that. There's something about a motorcycle as well. I don't know who, had a motorcycle accident, or once, that used to drive a motorcycle, but there is something coming in. There is a spirit of a man that died in a motorcycle accident. I'm very positive. And I don't feel like this is necessarily a person, Johnny Bravo, that is in your family, but their spirit is attached to your living space, and they are there. You need to sage. You need to put up some dragon's blood in the sign of a cross on your doors and your windowsills, and use Palo Santo and kind of burn that around your home. So I feel like there's some negative energies that are definitely not necessarily black magic, but there are some negative energies that are trying to get in. So you are kind of spot on, but it's not magic. You haven't been hexed or anything like that. Okay? I just want to keep that very clear. But you are a magnet to spirits, because believe it or not, Johnny, you are a medium, and you've always had the gift. And I feel like you kind of try not to focus on it, and it's always going to be a part of you. So that was for Johnny Bravo. Let's see here. Thank you, Angie H. You're a sweetheart. Ryan Jones. Let me pick a card. I know Ryan has been asking. Ryan Jones. So hopefully you're still on. Okay, Ryan, I got here surrender. There's something that you're resisting, change that you need to have in your life. And it's like waving the white flag. It's like you've had enough. You've gone through the motions of being upset. It's like you want to give up, and you cannot give up. You don't need to necessarily surrender. Even though this is the card here, and people would think, well, Spirit is trying to say that you need to surrender. I feel like you have that thought. Like, that's the feelings that you have. Like, you're giving up on something, whether this is your life, giving up on love, giving up on just having financial stability and stop struggling. So for Ryan, I know that it makes sense. You asked about your career, what you should be doing. I feel like you're a very creative person, and you work more better in the arts. So things that would express you, like looking into blogging or writing. This could even be into like fashion, things like that, sports, even sports, things of that nature, for career path. Maybe even, I want to say music, anything that gets your creativeness going. Focus. You need to be very focused, because I feel like you're very distracted. Like, you have an idea you want to do, or, be an entrepreneur. And then you kind of shift away from that. And it's like, no, that idea doesn't, and you kind of second guessing yourself when it comes to your, your day-to-day functions. And so your mind kind of drifts away into these thoughts, and you don't really focus too much on the present. You're not living as much in the moment. All right, guys, so I'm feeling a little tired, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I hope that all of you that tune in really appreciate it, and I appreciate you so much being here with me tonight. So I want to thank you all. Ryan Thomas, thank you. Nicole Sorkin, thank you for being my moderators. I really love y'all. And again, I will be holding a giveaway. So blessings and love and light. Have an amazing, amazing night.